second. Going live. You are live.
Alright, good afternoon guys. We are working on hamstrings today, and so we'll be using your belt or scarf or yoga strap and a firm, preferably a firm pillow. The taller the pillow, the better. If you don't have a taller pillow, you can also like fold a pillow in half. We're going to be using it as a prop. So you can put those two to the side for now, and we'll start actually with the legs extended. Okay, so feet are together and flex, hands on the knees, round your back and just slide your hands towards the ankles and let your head be dead weight. Because we're doing hamstrings today, we're going to be doing a lot of forward folding, and the best advice I could give you in a forward fold is to allow your head to be dead weight. Don't use your neck at all to lift up the head.
I was telling everyone to do that yesterday after our workout on the Zoom call.
Oh, good. Yanni listens to me.
And then I told him to come today.
Good. Slide it up. Bring the right foot into the thigh. And we'll do the same thing. Hands on the knees, round your back. Nothing crazy. We're just warming up slowly here. Good. Coming up. And we'll switch.
I think Aiden's on. Aiden, jump in and stretch with us.
Who's Aiden?
He's a stranger.
He is a stranger danger. Good. We're going to make a wide V, and same thing. Hands on the knees, round the back, chin to chest, head towards the forehead as you slide. Keep your feet flexed. Good. Rising up. Turn your chest the other way. Round your back. Good. Coming up. Feet come back together. Hands alongside the hips, fingers facing forward. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Good. And then relax your shoulders down. Press the heel of your palms into the floor so much that your chest is lifting. Get your spine as straight as you can and flex your feet so hard that your heels come off the floor. And then relax, hands forward, round your back, stretch it. Very good. Coming up, you can bend your knees and we'll come up onto all fours. Cat-cow stretching. Inhale, arch your back and look up. Exhale, chin to chest, round your back. Inhale, let the belly drop, look up. Exhale, squeeze like a crunch. One more time looking up. One more time crunching. And return back to the middle. Tuck your toes, walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up, pedal out your heels one at a time. Good. Push your right heel into the mat and relax your left knee. I'll show you from the side. All right, we're just descending the heel, stretching out the calf, and then switch. Good. Switch again. Press both heels down into the mat. Walk your hands back toward your feet. Okay, so if you can place your hands either on your shins or your fingertips on the floor and relax your head. We're going to pedal the knees, so one knee bends and then the other, just alternating. Okay, it's okay if you get a little sway in your hips as you're bending your knees. And then bend your right knee and straighten your left knee. keep your neck nice and soft. And switch. Good, switch again, and this time the left palm is going to come to the floor. Opposite arm extends up towards the ceiling. And replace the palm. Switch your knees and then spin up. Good, relax your hands down, relax your head. You can shake your head yes and no. Get a little sway in your shoulders. And then slowly roll up to stand. We'll roll the shoulders back. Ooh, it's gonna be hot in here today.
Yeah.
Can I feel how muggy it is?
It is muggy.
Let's puff up the chest and interlace behind you. Just open up the collarbone. One more deep breath. Good, and then relax the arms. So we're going to go through our sun salutation to get the blood flowing. With each sun salutation, we're going to hold the forward fold for 5 deep breaths. Okay, so same as usual, just with a longer forward fold. Okay, feet together, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Let's put the hands on the shins and look forward with a straight back. And then exhale, fold forward for 5, 4. You're looking at your shins. 2. Good. Bend your knees, hands to the floor, step or jump back to plank. Elbows in close as you lower down. Inhale, untuck the toes. Retuck the toes, downward facing dog. Step or jump forward, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, hands on the shins, look forward with a straight back. And then inhale all the way up. You can get a little baby back bend. And that's 1. Okay, inhale again, baby back bend. Exhale, hands on the shins. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, drop the head completely for 5. So the crown of your head should be facing the floor. Chin is slightly tucked. One more deep breath. Good, bending the knees, hands to the floor, step or jump back. Go through your flow. And step or jump forward. 5 deep breaths. Good, hands on the shins, looking forward. Inhale, baby back bend. Exhale, relax. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Hands on the shins, look forward, straight back. Exhale, fold for 5. And as you're resting here, see if you can bring your weight forward to the forward part of your foot rather than your heel. It's okay to have a slight bend in your knees here. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, hands to the ground, go through your flow. Step or jump forward. Holding for 5. Again, shifting your weight slightly forward, taking the weight out of your heels. If you have sciatica that travels all the way down to your heels, that's also a good habit to develop to help alleviate sciatic pain. Hands on the shins, look forward. Inhale all the way up. Very good. Roll the shoulders. Okay, we're gonna widen the feet about hips width apart. I don't know what you call this in English, and we call it Padahastasana in yoga, but you take your two peace fingers and we're gonna wrap them around the big toe. So you can bend your knees here if you can't reach it with straight knees, that's fine. But you're gonna wrap the big toe with your peace fingers, okay? If you are able to, I'll show you from the side, to do this with straight knees, the next step would be trying to get your chest as close to your knees as possible without straining. So you want your whole upper body to just be dead weight here, and notice that my elbows are sort of flaring out to the sides. And we're holding here 5 deep breaths. And again, we're shifting our weight forward slightly. No worries if your knees have a little bend in them. Inhale with a straight back, looking forward. And you can let go of the toes, put your hands on the floor, and step or jump back to your plank, going through your flow. Stepping or jumping right back into your forward fold. Widen your feet so that they're hips width apart. Same thing, this time we're going to take your fingers underneath your toes. And again, dead weight, allowing your elbows to flare out to the sides. Gently pulling your chest towards your knees. One more deep breath. Keeping your fingers where they are. Straighten your back, looking forward. And then you can remove the fingers. Bend your knees, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Go through your flow. And we're going to hold downward facing dog. And we'll take a single leg stretch here. Right leg comes up. And we're actively trying to push that left heel towards the mat. And you can see that my hips open like a dancer here. Now flex your foot and close the hips so they're square. All right, so your leg's gonna be a little lower now, but it's almost like a 90-degree angle I'm making. We're stretching slightly different muscles here. Good, return the foot to the floor, float forward into plank, go through your flow. And we'll switch sides, opposite leg comes up, open like a dancer. And then close the hip and flex the foot. One more deep breath here. Good, return the foot to the floor. Step or jump forward, right into your forward fold. Good, bend your knees so that your upper body is completely supported by your thighs. And just relax your head. Your knuckles should comfortably reach the floor in this position. have about 1 fist of space between my feet right now. Okay, so if you're comfortable here, I'm going to take my fingers and place them underneath my heels. And just let your head dangle. From here, begin to slowly straighten your knees any amount, doesn't have to go straight. Two more deep breaths. Slowly letting go of the heels. Inhale all the way up to standing. And take a baby back bend. Very good. And then exhale. Hands to the mat. Step or jump back. Go through your flow. Inhale the right leg up. Let's get that dancer stretch. And then close the hip for your 90-degree stretch. Good. Bend that knee in towards your chest, round your back, and then place the foot in between your hands for the lunge. My fingertips are on the floor, my chest is lifted away from my knee. And we're just going to move back and forth between our runner stretch and our hip flexor stretch. Good. Hold the runner stretch. Flexing the toes up toward the ceiling. Relaxing your head towards the knee. Good. Point your toes towards the floor now, and you'll feel a stretch in the top of your ankle. Hop your back foot in about 1 foot. And now we're in a pyramid pose. Okay, so you can relax your head down. Good. Look slightly forward. Actually, I'll show you first, and then you'll do it with me. We're going to come into a standing split here. So you'll look slightly forward, shift your weight forward with a bent knee in that front knee, and then slowly lift your back toes. Then flex your back foot and make sure that your hips are square like we did in our down dog. And then from here, the closer you can walk your hands towards your feet, the more flexibility it requires. One more deep breath. And then bring your back foot to meet your front foot and forward fold. Good. Bend your knees, hands to the mat, go through your flow. Left leg comes up for your dancer stretch.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And then close your hip for your 90-degree stretch. It's a perfect example of ballerina feet versus jiu-jitsu feet.
Yeah.
And then bend that knee into your chest and bring the foot forward for your lunge position. And we're Sinking the hips forward, and then runner stretch back and forth at your own pace. And then when you're ready, hold the runner stretch, toes up. Bringing that head as close to the knee as you can. And then point the toes down toward the floor to get your ankle stretch here. Hopping that back foot in about a foot. And we're in our pyramid pose. You can relax the head down. One more deep breath here, and then we're transitioning right into our standing split. So when you're ready, look slightly forward, move your hands slightly forward. You can have a soft bend in that front knee as your back toes slowly lift. Keep your hips squared 90 degrees with the legs. And then see how close you can get your hands toward your foot or your ankle. Curling your head towards the knee. One more breath. Very good. Feet together. Relax the head. Slowly rolling up. Inhale the arms up, baby back bend. Good. Interlace your hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then we're bending the knees again, letting your chest just rest on your thighs. And just get a little shoulder stretch here to give our legs a break. And then inhale the chest all the way back up. Keep your hands clasped. And we're going to step out wide for a wide angle forward bend. So your feet should be parallel. Inhale, puff up the chest. Exhale, leading with the chest on the way down. Thinking about your wrists one day touching the floor. My chin is slightly tucked here. And I'll show you that from the side.
I could barely think about my wrist not touching my back. It's like...
Actually, my pinkies are touching the floor right now.
Jeez. That's not good, Lauren. You should see a doctor about that.
This is why I don't get Kimura. And again, here we want to focus on alleviating the weight from the heels. This is a great stretch for sciatic pain. Keeping your body where it is, just bring your wrists to touch your low back, so bending your elbows, and then relax your hands forward. Good. Bring your hands to the floor, look forward, straight back. And then heel toe your feet together, scooch them in. And slowly roll up to stand, reaching for your strap, belt, or scarf. So go ahead and give your legs a good shake.
Oh yeah.
If you feel soreness in your legs tomorrow, that is all right. When the muscles are lengthening, they can like tear and then they rebuild. So don't be alarmed. And as we do this, because we're spending basically a full hour working on the hamstrings, there's really no reason for you to force any stretch. The muscle's gonna open on its own time. We're spending the whole hour on it, so regardless of how far your stretch is, you're still getting way more than your hamstrings are used to. We're going to use the strap to do some standing hand to toe stretching. So if you're very flexible, you may not need the strap, but I'll show you with and without the strap. You're going to want to place the strap around the middle of the foot. And then bring both ends of the strap into your same side hand. So I have it on my right leg and my right hand is holding. Opposite hand comes to my opposite hip. Bring your weight all the way into the left leg and then bend your knee in towards your chest. Okay, so this might be good for you, or you might be able to extend the leg, flexing the foot. We want the heel to be in line with the hip.
This is hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. And you can always, work your hands up the strap closer to the foot. Oh, this brings me so much joy.
I might have to turn off this camera.
Yanni didn't think he'd need to come up with an excuse for why the camera wasn't working today.
It was unfortunately working. Oh my god. It's my left foot. My left foot is
and then
not as good.
relaxed. Oh yeah, you have some stuff going on with your ankle, right?
Yeah, I think my left ankle might be missing things that my right ankle has.
And then we'll step the other foot in. Same thing, holding with the same side hand. Right hand to the right hip. Shift your weight into the right foot. Bend the left knee up. As you do this, make sure your posture is nice and tall. If you start rounding, that's a bad time to decide to extend your leg. So make sure you have that in check. Push through your heel, toes toward you, and then if you need to, you can walk that hand up the strap.
Oops.
Be careful that your hips stay nice and square and level. A lot of times this is what happens, like the hip kind of wants to come out of the socket. So think about pulling your hip bone into the socket. Keep flexing the foot.
Find myself leaning back too much.
Yeah, you want your entire body to be completely, what's the word? Level. And then rebend. Good. Step the opposite foot back in. Okay, so before we move on to the next variation, I just want to say that if you're having trouble, if you're like Yanni right now, like wobbling all over, wait, trying to make sure I'm in the frame. Aha, now you can see me. You can do this up against the wall, and that'll take the balance out of it. So that's there for you if you don't feel like working on your balance today. You're like, this is hamstrings, I didn't sign up for this. We're gonna take the leg out to the side now. So same thing, I'm gonna go straight up and then out to the side. So if you need to use the wall, feel free. All right, so we're shifting our weight, bending the knee, extending. Maybe you wanna walk that hand closer to the foot, and then make sure your posture is nice and tall before you extend out to the side.
This is like our original photo we had.
It is, except exponentially less hideous picture of me. That was like the worst photo ever.
You're the one who's posed. I don't know. I was like, you want to take a picture? You're like, yes, I look perfect. So
That's not what happened.
that's what I remember.
One more deep breath. Bring it into the middle first. Bend the knee, and then we'll switch. Okay. Shifting your weight, bending the knee, extend, walking the hand down. Make sure your posture is in check, and then extend. No shame in using a wall here. If you're having trouble with the balance, especially us because we're on these squishy mats. One more deep breath. Very good. Back to the middle, rebend, and there we go. All right, we're gonna come to the floor now. Yay. Yeah, I know, finally. So if you have your pillow, if you have yoga blocks, that's actually better than a pillow, but I'm just assuming that most people do not have yoga blocks at home. So I am gonna fold my pillow in half so that I can get up nice and high. The higher you are off the ground, the more it's gonna help you. But we're just gonna sit on top of the pillow. So anytime that we're stretching in a forward fold, if the hips are elevated off the floor, we're getting a little bit more range of motion in our stretch. And if you're somebody who, when they sit Indian style or with their legs forward, their low back kind of does this and they can't.
Crisscross applesauce is what we call it.
What did I say? Indian style?
You said Indian style. That's not very PC.
Oh my goodness, you're right. I'm so culturally insensitive. When I was in school, that's what they called it. Yes, it's crisscross applesauce now.
That's what the school's called now.
But we're rounding here, and you don't have the ability to sit up straight. So elevating your hips is going to help you with that, which will in turn help you stretch further. So another thing you might have at home is called a bosu. It's like this blue semicircle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it's like
the blue balloon thing that's like a semicircle.
Kind of like those yoga ball things, but they're like half of it.
Yeah, it's like half of a yoga ball. Those are perfect for this. So if you have a home gym, you could use that instead. But we're going to extend the legs forward with your hips either on a block or this pillow, and flex your feet. And we're just going to take a forward fold here. Good. Slowly rolling up. Bring the right foot into the left. And we're going to use our belts and wrap it around the foot. Okay, so it's very important that you try to eliminate, I'll show you from the side. You want to eliminate the space between the knee and the floor. So naturally I can fit my whole hand in between. So we want to actually think about pushing the back of the knee into the floor as much as possible. And then with your strap, we're going to use it to bring the chest toward the foot. Elbows in. And then when you feel like you really can't stretch any further forward, just relax your head down. Good, coming up, step the opposite foot in. Okay, here we go. So for next week, I'm thinking Either we could focus on like the groin.
Ooh, like
Or
splits and stuff.
yeah, splits, like squats and inner thigh stretching. Or we could do like the outer hips, like glute and like side of the hip. What do you think?
Either the outer glutes or, well, I mean, honestly, we haven't done. I feel like we've done more glutes before, right? Because that's like where.
Yeah, like the figure four stretch and stuff,
Yeah.
like pigeon.
So maybe we can do more of the other ones. I mean,
Yeah.
sounds painful.
Oh
good.
yeah, it's extremely painful.
I like pain.
Me too. Coming up. Good. Both feet in the strap. Here we go forward. 5 deep breaths. Good. Coming up, we're gonna bend the right knee in towards the chest, and then like tuck it underneath your thigh. If that makes sense. And then bend your other knee in.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is it right?
Like this. Okay. Then we're taking our strap around the foot. We're gonna
Like a
keep
butterfly
this foot up.
sweep, you're saying.
Basically butterfly sweep position, yes. Alright, so your chest is lifted, my back is nice and straight. Use your strap to pull the heel up halfway first, so 90-degree bend, and make sure that your back is still straight. From here, extend any amount forward, flex your foot, and then bring that knee up towards your chest as much as you can without compromising your posture. Elbows in. Good, rebend the knee. And we'll switch opposite foot in the strap. I'm tucking the other one. And I'm just doing this for balance with my other foot. Some people are more comfortable just letting their knee go straight. So whatever feels better for you. Okay, posture is up. Bring it to 90 degrees first, and then extend.
Well, I was able to straighten this one out. I wasn't able to do that in the other one.
Interesting.
That's
But
weird.
as you're doing this, think about rolling your shoulders back into their sockets, because they tend to get pulled forward by your legs. So roll it back. Good, rebending. You can let the strap go, set it to the side, keep it close by. And we'll take a wide stretch here. And you can just come forward any amount that's comfortable for you. If you want to relax your head on another pillow that you might have at home, that's fine too. 5 deep breaths. Actively push your knees into the floor. Very good. Slowly coming up. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the pillow and bring it in front of you. We're gonna work on some split stuff, Russian split. So we just did a straddle split. The Russian split is gonna work your hamstrings, and there's modifications for everyone. Okay, so the beginning, level 1, is our runner stretch. Okay, from the runner stretch, you can just slide your heel forward. You can use like a sock or something to help you slide the heel forward. And typically we kind of stop wherever you need to stop. If you are more flexible, you'll be able to do what's called an over split. So if you have a block or pillow, you would actually just place your foot on top of the pillow instead. And again, you can fold it over to make it higher. The higher it is, the more challenging. So I'm going to show you with the pillow, but you're welcome to do it with just the floor.
So you call this a Russian split when it's front?
Yeah.
For some reason I thought Russian split was a side dance.
No, that's straddle.
Back in the day, I feel like when I was a kid and doing Taekwondo, one was American split and the other one was Russian split.
Interesting. I mean, language changes.
Yeah, exactly. We learned that already.
We did. Okay, so we want to flex the foot, and we're in our runner stretch. From here, the chest is lifted, and we're sliding forward any amount that you can comfortably. Stop wherever you need to stop. If you're having trouble balancing, you can use pillows or blocks to hold on to on either side just to help you.
Easy peasy. I'll get there.
Good job, Yanni. I like to practice my splits sometimes up against the wall with the standing split too, but I'm just assuming that not everybody has access to a lot of wall space. Keep breathing, we're almost done.
Aiden, I have no idea how she does it.
What did Aiden say?
He said, how do you do that? Just do it.
One more deep breath.
I bet he can do it.
Probably. He's pretty flexible,
He is
no?
really flexible.
Okay, so now when we're coming, we slightly bend the knee and very gracefully drag the heel back into our lunge here. We're just gonna push the hip forward. And then untuck your back toes, hands on the mat, step back to downward facing dog and just pedal out your heels. And then when you're ready, we'll switch and you can come into it however is comfortable for you. One side is typically much tighter than the other. So.
Yeah, even when I was a little kid and I was able to do a full split, I wasn't able to do this type of split. This was always harder for me.
Yeah. This one's typically harder, I find.
It's all like hamstrings.
Yeah, the other one's more like groin, which we'll probably do next week.
Good.
Yeah, another good muscle group to work on for your guard retention.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Catch them in your guard.
If you really wanted to get crazy with a hamstring stretch here, if you're really flexible, you can then, lean forward over this leg, but it's kind of extra.
Yeah, I don't want to be extra.
If
Isn't
you're
extra bad?
like this is like Chelsea probably needs to do this to feel
oh
the
yeah,
stretch.
I think I've seen her in pictures like
Yeah.
completely folded.
Mhm. Yep, nose to the knee. One more deep breath. And slowly make your way up. We'll drag the heel back into a lunge and just stretch that front hip. Is your printer just going?
I think it's just sometimes it cleans itself or something. I don't know.
Good. And then we'll come back into a down dog and just, stretch out your legs again.
Unless it's trying to join in on the yoga.
And then when you're ready, coming down, and we'll take a little child's pose here. Very good. Coming up, and we'll swivel the legs forward for some stuff on our back. So you need your strap or your belt. And we'll do some leg stretching with our belt. So you can roll onto your back. And again, you can see that there's a substantial amount of space between my knee and the floor right now, so I want to push my knee into the floor as much as I can. My other foot is flexed and my knee is straight. A lot of times I see people do this, like they're bending their knee just so that they can bring the leg closer, and then they say like, oh look, like I can touch my head to my knee, but their knee is bent, so it doesn't matter because you're not stretching the muscles behind your knee. So I'd rather you be at 90 degrees with a straight knee and your head nice and relaxed. So I'm relaxing my shoulders, my hands are on both ends of the strap, and my elbows are pressing into the ground. Generally, the best way and the fastest way I would suggest to increase your hamstring flexibility would be this stretch here. Hold it for 30 seconds and repeat it 3 times every day on each leg.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And you'll be surprised how quickly you improve with just that stretch. Okay, we're gonna switcheroo into the opposite. Yeah, so you definitely, I would suggest alternating legs 3 times each just to maximize your time. And we want the knee to be straight, but we don't want to lock it out completely. You never want to lock the joint so much that you're putting yourself at risk for injury. So you can think of it like a straight knee with a teeny micro bend for safety. So if you're someone who's very flexible, it's possible that you could hyperextend a joint, especially if you're in a very hot temperature, or if you do a lot of hot yoga where the room can be upwards of 100 degrees. You always want to protect the knee with a slight micro bend. And again, we're not forgetting about that leg on the floor, keeping that leg on the floor active. Neck and shoulders relaxed. The small of my back is imprinted into the floor here, and I'm pulling my hip bone into the floor. Switch your feet again. Okay, so it's a dual action of push and pull. I'm pulling down on the strap, but I'm pushing my foot into the strap. All right, 2 more deep breaths here. This is a great stretching routine to have right before bed because throughout the day, blood pools up in your feet, make your feet swell, and this is a great way to reverse the effects of gravity on the body, switch your feet, and just assist in, bringing all that blood back to your heart. Well, that helps relax you and get you ready for bed.
True. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What if you don't have a heart? What do you have? No heart and no feelings. Then you can skip that one.
No heart and no feelings, and you're probably a bully.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good. Switch your foot. This time we'll bring both ends of the strap into your right hand. That is if your right foot's in the strap right now. And we'll just take it out to the side, get a little inner thigh stretch. We're still stretching our hamstring here. And then go ahead and bring it back to center. Switch your grip. Get your grip as close to the foot as you can comfortably without compromising your shoulders. And we're taking it across.
Oh, same leg, sorry. I was assuming.
And remember that when we're twisting here, we want both shoulders glued to the floor. Keep both knees as straight as you can. Good, bring it up. Bring your hands around both ends of the strap, and now take a deep breath in. On the exhale, crunch your head up towards the knee. Elbows flare out, bringing your head as close to the knee as you can. And then relax your head down. Step your opposite foot in. And then we're bringing both ends of the strap into your same side hands, allowing the foot to fall out to the side, and we're pulling slightly upward on the strap towards the armpit, keeping your foot off the floor. Now it's tempting to allow the foot to just relax like this, but we want to keep tension on the strap at all times. When I first started teaching yoga at Unity, and Joe took the class, he was like, I was calling it strap, and he was like, strap? Because that's code for like gun or something. And apparently a lot of the people in the class like didn't get it, and they were like, what? It's like only you would interpret it.
Yeah, I know.
But then Bones was like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And I'm like, what? I guess because, like, if you don't do yoga, you're not used to, like, using a yoga strap.
I guess so.
Gotta bring it up. Switch your grip nice and high on the belt. Keep your shoulders glued to the floor.
Oh, this side's tight.
Oh, finally got cool in here. I can't tell if it got cool in here or if we're just our body temperatures are cooling.
I could hear that the AC just kicked on, so that's weird.
Yeah.
You know, IBGF guideline says for COVID-19 not to use air conditioning.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Because it brings in outside air?
Maybe because it circulates air somewhere.
Interesting. So I mean, you shouldn't have your windows open and stuff?
No, they say use natural, like open the windows
I see.
for ventilation rather than AC.
Huh.
So no AC when we come back.
Oh, that really changes things. Good. Bring it back to the middle, and again, we're crunching on the exhale. Bring your head up as high as you can. Elbows flare out. 3, 2. Relax the head. Good. Keep your strap handy, but we're just going to take the knees into the chest real quick. You can rock from side to side. And we'll do one final stretch with the strap with both feet in. So same thing except both feet are in. And we want the low back touching the floor here. Good. 2 more deep breaths. And then keeping your feet in the strap, bend your knees and just pull the knees in nice and close. Good, and then relax the strap and roll up to a seated position. We'll just stretch out our neck real quick to finish. I feel like I can't end a yoga practice unless my neck has been stretched for some reason. Good, and then just roll your head. Okay, and again, he kicks out, reverse the rotation. And then interlace your hands, puff up the chest, bring your right ear to the right shoulder. And switch. Good. Sit on your right hand, palm facing up, and just turn your head away. Other way, honey. Good. Sit on the other hand. Turn your head away from that hand. Make sure your shoulders are rolled back. Looking slightly upward. Good. Turn your head. Looking slightly upward. Very good. You messed that one up. All right, thank you guys for joining us for hamstrings. We're probably going to do groin next week, and if there's anything else you want us to cover, as always, let us know and we'll prepare something. Good job today. Don't worry if your hamstrings are sore tomorrow.
Great job. All right.